Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Welcome to Wig and Stretch on this final day of May 31st. So today's practice, I think I'm going to do a little bit of heart opening. I feel like, sorry, my head is going all over the place because I'm looking at the dogs. It's particularly wet this morning. There was rain last night. And the dogs want to be on my mat because it's dry. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, excuse me, I feel like doing a heart opening practice because of what's going on in the world. It's just a little too much to handle, and sometimes we need to separate from it, step onto the mat, and deal with what we're feeling. I don't normally talk about really what's going on in the world. I like to keep things a little bit more I don't want to say the word light, but I like to keep things a little bit more separate. So this can be a place of lightness. It can be a place of love and joy and connection. Anyhow, I'm going to stop talking about that now, I think, because I can digress very easily. So I'm going to step onto the mats and do things that will help nourish the heart and the soul a little bit. And these puppers seem to know how to make that happen. I'm sure that they will with their wet, muddy paws at some point. So if you'd like to join me, go ahead and grab your props, anything that you might like. I think I'm going to start on the back on props, so the nice chest opener. So if you have 2 blocks, or you have bolsters or pillows or towels or blankets, whatever it is you might have, go ahead and grab them. And I will meet you on the mat for a beautiful heart opening. Okay, see you there. So if you are using blocks, set one at a higher level and the other one at a lower level. The lower one will go along your spine, and you can do it at the highest and the medium, or you can go to the medium and the lowest, because sometimes it can be a little too intense at the higher levels. So you might have to play with that a little bit. So go ahead and set your props up. I just love this. This is Sri Lankan made. It's actually a sarong, but it's handmade. And it's just so beautiful with the elephants and the colors and everything that I like to practice with it because it brings me joy. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to place this on top of there. Oh, hello, Miss Socks. When you're ready, you can lay down on your blocks. I'm going to wait for Miss Socks to do her smelly thing. There she goes. I'm going to lay down on my mat now. Oh, yes. Hi, Mr. Jealouses. Oh, kiss right on the mouth. I told you these dogs know exactly what to do to make us feel better. Oh, yes. All right, so finding your happy place. Legs can go wherever you'd like them to go. And you can let the arms go out to the sides to a T for a little more chest opening, or you can rest them anywhere that feels good for you. I'm just going to stay here for a little while. Deep breaths where you need them, yawning where you like it. Just let your body feel heavy on whatever you're laying on. Oh, kisses right in the ear. My little cuddle buddy. Well, he's not really little, is he? He's huge. Breathing here for a few more moments. Take one more nice deep breath. If your legs are long, bring the feet flat so the knees are pointing upwards. If your knees were wide in bound angle, then bring them up to the ceiling. And very gently roll onto one side and move your props out of the way. And find your way into your Shavasana. Please don't kick me in the head today, Zeus. I know. Hi, buddy. Okay. Laying flat, letting the ribs and the spine reacclimate to their natural curvature after that chest opener. And start to move the hands, the feet, the toes, the fingers. Give them a good roll. And roll onto one side and gently come up to a seated position. So I'm going to try one more thing with the props. So taking, if you have a block, use the block. If you have a smaller pillow or smaller towel, you can roll it up into a cylinder shape. And you're going to rest it along the spine between the shoulder blades. So we're going to do a supported fish pose. If you have any herniations in your neck, tread very, very carefully here. If you have any issues with your neck or injuries, or you know that when you arch back, you start to get headaches or anything like that, then just come into a nice Shavasana or and rest. Well, I'm not going to stay here for very long. So the idea here is to lay down on the block and let the crown of the head come down to the mat. Legs can do what you'd like them to do. And traditionally in fish, you would bring your hands into a diamond shape and then slide them underneath your pelvis. Legs would go straight and you would prop up on your elbows. So if you like regular fish, full fish, go for it. I just didn't want the strain on the neck or the shoulders this morning. But I do like the hands underneath the pelvis, so the elbows are relaxed. This is also wonderful if your sinuses are not feeling so hot, if you have allergies. Eyes can be open or closed, up to you. This opens up both the chest and the throat. Just a few more breaths. And gently release the hands out. Now instead of picking your head up on your own with the neck muscles, use your hands behind the head and gently lift the head up. And once you've got the chin tucked, prop yourself up, take the block out from underneath, and we'll take a Shavasana again. Just a brief one. Let the chest and neck relax. Start to move the fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Give a good stretch. Go ahead and pull the knees into the chest. Give a little rock from side to side. Then roll on to one side and gently press yourself up. Finding your child's pose. So we're going in the opposite direction now, opening up the back of the heart center. I'm going to use props here, but if you'd rather be flat on the mat, that's fine. This will open up through the armpits as well as opening up You may feel sensation between the shoulder blades. That's what I'm trying to say. So you want the blocks to be either on a low or a medium. Medium is ideal so that your head can slide through if it's going to. And about shoulder width apart. And you bring your elbows down onto it. Hands come to prayer. And you can bring the tail up and slide back towards a happy puppy, or you can sit down. This will make it more intense. And you can let the head slide through. Just breathe here. We'll take about 4 or 5 more breaths in this position. If it gets to be too much or you feel pins and needles, then ease out of it. Then to come out of this, let the arms lengthen out, shift your weight forward. You can walk the knees forward so that the weight is off of the shoulders. And then gently come to seated. Moving the props out of the way again and taking child's pose, but this time bringing the arms back by the heels. So just letting yourself melt forward. If you want to prop so that you're not so low in the head, and go ahead. Up to you. One more nice deep breath here in your child's pose. And on an inhale, go ahead and roll up through the spine. Just take a minute, feel what you feel. Alright, so from here, coming into tabletop, hands and knees, taking a few cows and cats, but really concentrating the movement for the upper spine, so between the shoulder blades. Of course, this is our focus of today's practice. So inhaling and really lifting the heart forward. And then exhale, press so that the shoulder blades separate, let the head drop if it's available to you. Then inhale, lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. And then exhale, curl it out. Inhale, moving into a cat. I'm sorry, cow, wrong animal, cow. And then exhale, curl into cat. Take a few more in your own breath pattern. Finish up your last round and let's move into downward facing dog. On your inhale, the right leg up and back, twisted three-legged dog. Inhale, straighten the legs, square off the hips. Exhale, step it through. Find warrior one. It can be shallow. It doesn't have to be deep. We haven't really opened up the hips at all. Inhaling, bringing the arms up, and then exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Good. From here, bring the hands behind, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, humble warrior. So in this version, the torso stays square. If it's available to you, let either the belly, the ribs, or the shoulder rest on the thigh. And the idea here is to keep the entire right side of the body in one straight line. There's a different variation of Warrior Two where the hips are more open and the torso falls to the inside, but this really targets the outer hip and the hamstring. And you can either let the head drop if that feels good for you, or you can lengthen through the spine or the neck, to be more specific. On your inhale, bring yourself all the way up. Exhale, release, let the shoulders roll a bit. Good. So from here, we'll come into camel with the legs in Warrior One. So the hands come back to the hip bones, heel of the hands press onto the bone, and the fingers press the flesh down. And the hands are here to help prevent the pelvis from tilting. So there's a little bit of pressure there. Inhale, lengthen through the waist. Exhale, lift the heart. You do get a little bit of hip opening here, but it's more about the chest opening. So send your breath to the upper chest, upper ribs, upper back. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Find your way back to plank. You can vinyasa here or just press back to down dog or child's pose. Good. On your next inhale, the left leg floats up and back, three-legged dog. Make it a twist. Inhale, straighten the legs, square up the hips. Exhale, step it through. Find Warrior One. Again, can be shallow. Inhale as you rise up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. One more time. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Then bring them behind. Interlace with the opposite thumb on top. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold it forward, finding your humble warrior. And then inhaling, lifting up. Going all the way up to vertical. Exhale where you need. Let the shoulders roll a little bit. And then bring the hands behind for camel in a Warrior One stance. Inhale, lengthening through the waist. Exhale, lifting the heart. Let the shoulders roll down and back. Breathe through the upper chest, upper ribs, upper lungs. Inhaling, coming up to neutral. Exhale, release. Let the hands come all the way down to the mat. Find your way back to plank. Vinyasa, down dog, or child's pose. Taking rest here now for a few breaths. From here, finding downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and back, three-legged dog, make it a twist. You can either stay here or flip your dog into wild thing. This is a beautiful heart opener. And in fact, you can take the right hand, you can bring it to your heart for a breath, and as you exhale, exhale out all the love and extend the arm. One more breath. Go ahead and flip it back to three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through. Let's find Warrior Two. Pardon my back. Inhale as you rise up. Exhaling and settling in to your warrior. Inhale, lifting the arm, straightening the leg. Exhale, settle back into warrior two. We'll do this about 2 more times. From here, find extended side angle, opening up the side part of our heart center. So through the armpits and through where the lats are, the serratus anterior. Getting a nice opening here. And we'll take a little bit of movement with this top arm, with the breath, of course. So taking a nice inhale as it sweeps down, and then exhale. Or if you'd like to do the breath the opposite way, that's fine too. On your next breath, reverse the circle. Good. Inhale the arms straight up to the sky. Exhale, bring it down to the mat. Well, let's find lizard pose. We get a little bit of hip love here too, not just the heart center. So the right leg walks out to the right edge of the mat. Outwardly rotate from the thigh. And find what works for you in lizard. If you want more chest opening, then sit up tall and bring the shoulder blades back and breathe upward and outward. Take one more nice full inhale, and then exhale, gently release. Find your way back to plank. Vinyasa, down dog, or child's pose. Good, moving now to the second side. Left leg up and back, three-legged dog, make it a twist. Either stay here or flip your dog into wild thing. Same breath if you'd like to use the arm. Inhale, bring your hand to your heart. Exhale, extend it and release it outward. Take one more nice inhale. Then exhale, flip your dog back to three-legged dog, squaring off the hips. Step it through, find warrior two. Inhaling as you rise. Exhaling and settling in. Inhale, straighten the leg, arms float up. Exhale, warrior two. 2 more times. Good. From here, finding extended side angle. And we'll do the same thing with the top arm. Nice big circles, using your breath. And then reverse the circle on your next breath. Inhale the arms straight up to the sky. And then exhale, bring it down to the mat. We'll find lizard on the other side. Squaring off the hips, left leg to the left edge of your mat. Outwardly rotate the thigh. Find where you would like your lizard today. So lifting the heart or folding forward, wherever you need it to be. Right now in this moment. Our hearts are not the only places that hold onto emotion and energy. Our hips do as well. So it is equally important to help and nourish those parts of the body as well. Take one more breath here. And gently release. If you're using props, move them to the side. Find your way back to plank. Move through your vinyasa, down dog or child's pose. Taking rest for a few breaths, whichever pose you like, either down dog or child's pose. Good, and then from here, go ahead and gently come to a seated position, and we'll transition right onto the back. Rolling down, giving a nice hug to the legs, gently rocking from side to side. So bringing the feet flat onto the mat, let's take a reclined pigeon. Right ankle crosses over the left thigh, reach through and grab onto the left leg. Gently pull it into the chest. Make sure the spine is long here. We want it to be as connected to the mat as possible. If it's not and you're floating either your hips or your head, then bring something underneath it so it is supported. From here, gently release the arms out to the side, cross the legs all the way, and then let them gently lower to the left side for a spinal twist. If this is too intense on the outer hips or the lower back, then untangle them and simply stack them. Gently come back up through center, untangle the legs. Hug the knees in, give a little rock from side to side. And we'll switch to reclined pigeon on the other side. So left ankle crosses the thigh, gently pull them in, holding on to the right thigh. Hi, Loki. Bye, Loki. From here, let the arms release out to the side. Really cross the legs so there's no space between. Legs gently lower to the right. Finding your spinal twist. And gently coming back up through center, go ahead and hug the knees into the chest, give a little rock from side to side. Let's take reclined bound angle pose. Let's bring one hand to the heart and one to the belly to connect with the breath. It's okay if the elbows drop down. Really try to connect with your breath here. Check in with your energy, how you're feeling. You have high energy, low energy, somewhere in between, jittery, lethargic, so many different types of energy. It's okay if you can't label it either. And it's also okay if you can't identify it. You let yourself shift over to your emotions. How are you feeling emotionally? And it's just a check-in. There is no should or should not. And how do you feel physically? And lastly, how do you feel spiritually? Do you feel lighter, heavier? Do you just need to take a deep breath and not think about it at all? And just let yourself shift back to the breath. Allow the legs to gently extend and find your Shavasana. You can keep your hands on your heart and belly if you'd like, or if you want to release them out to the sides, you're welcome to do that as well. Make yourself comfy. If you're cold, blanket it up. If it's bright, place something over your eyes and take rest. Gradually start to deepen your breath. Find energy in the fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Give yourself a nice long stretch. And gently hug the knees in towards the chest and give a little rock from side to side. Roll onto your right side, fetal position, using your arm as a pillow for your head. And gently press yourself up to a seated position. Prop it if you'd like to prop it. Keep your eyes closed. Hands can rest wherever they're most comfortable. Just letting the body acclimate to being upright. Giving a few moments of gratitude. Something that you're thankful for today in this moment that brings you joy. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Alrighty. So, make my way back over to you guys. So I hope this heart opening has helped you balance out a little bit if you're feeling a little crazy these days. Life is strange, so strange. Anyway, gotta love the highs and the lows, because when there's lows, it means there's a great high coming. So coming to the mat and doing the personal practice helps to balance us out, especially if you are feeling stressful, anxious, any of those key emotions that drive us a little cuckoo. Moving forward today, since today's the last day of May, tomorrow is June 1st, and since I've been starting these waken stretches, I typically take off the first day of the month. I think it's a little too much expectation to start something on the 1st. I mean, January 1st, we're expected to do all this stuff because it's a new year, new start, blah, 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 blah. So I'm saying let's take the 1st off, recoup, and we'll come back on the 2nd. So June 2nd, I am going to continue doing the wake and stretch because honestly, it's kind of fun. It's fun to see who shows up. It's fun to see what happens when we get on the mat with these crazy puppies that I have. By the way, they are full-grown adult dogs, but I will always call them puppies. Let's just be clear about that. Yeah, yeah. I think there was something I wanted to ask you, but I will either do that in the description or I'll put a poll up and ask because right now I can't remember. So have a beautiful day. Be well, my friends. And I will see you on June 2nd. Bye.